Good evening, everybody. If my screen is visible and if you can hear me, please let me know on the chat. Thanks, Shravanti. So you can see me and you can hear me. All okay? All right. Thanks for letting me know. Good evening, all. Welcome to this session. My name is Pratibha, and this session, as you know, is on verbal ability, keeping the WIPRO Elite NLTH in mind. I have received only Shravanti's response. What about the others? Are you able to hear me? All right, Rahul, Priya, good evening to you all too. I'm assuming that you can hear me, right? Okay. So before we start the session, the verbal ability session, a little bit about us, Ethnus. Who are we? We as an organization help students to realize their dreams, and we have been doing this for the last 14 years, and we have been helping them realize their dreams by preparing them for aptitude tests, preparing them for recruitment in general, helping them prepare for interviews, conducting drives, and so on. And like you know, this session is also a way of helping students realize their dreams of a wonderful career. Now, in case you are not part of our Telegram group, please do join, because everything related to our sessions, information related to drives, and all such information related to recruitment that would be of interest to you is on our Telegram channel. We keep posting there. So please do join. The link is being shared on the chat. In case you are not a member, please do join. So that brings us to what the session is about, the WIPRO Elite NLTH verbal ability. Now, I hope all of you know that the registrations are now open. We posted it on our Telegram group yesterday, saying that this registrations are open. We had also shared the link. So in case you have not seen it or you did not know about it, please go to our channel and look at that link and do register. All right, the registrations are likely to close on the 5th of Jan, and the tentative dates for the test are 18th Jan to 23rd Jan. Okay, so do the registrations if you have not done them, and I hope everybody has started preparing. If you haven't, start now. Okay, we have already started helping you prepare some time back. We have been conducting sessions, the quant sessions, the reasoning ability sessions, verbal ability sessions to help you prepare. So in case you have not started, please do start preparing, because there isn't much time. Okay, so we shall do what we do in each session, which is discuss questions. So I will display a question, show you the options, give you a little bit of time to figure out what the answer is, and then after it's time, we will discuss the answer. All right, so are you all set for the questions? Here we go. So this is a fill in the blank question. the options, and your time starts now. So all you have to do is fill in the blank. We have a few seconds remaining. And I see people are answering. I see B and D as the answers as of now. And now I see C and A as well. Okay. All right. Very quickly, because we are going to start discussing the answer. So I think it is kind of evenly distributed between B and okay, I think B is the majority. There is A and there is C and there is D as well. All right, let's look at what the answer is. The cat disappeared in the twinkling of an dash. And the choices given are star, eye, light and flash. Okay. Now, just let me do this. Give me a second. Okay. So you say, see the word twinkling, right? There's the word twinkling. And when you see this word, twinkling is associated with a star. Okay. Twinkling of eye, it is associated. You might have heard or you might not have heard. Twinkling, yes, light also, right? A light twinkled, we say. A flash and twinkle, probably not. Okay. So I don't think you would have heard of a twinkling of a flash. So I think we can rule this out. Okay. Let's rule that out. So let's go to the other choices. Okay. Twinkling of a star or twinkling of an eye or twinkling of a light. Now twinkle, the word twinkle, we use in connection with a star to mean that it shines brightly and then the brightness reduces. You know what twinkling of a star is, right? So twinkle has another meaning too. Okay. Where something happening very fast is called twinkle. That too is twinkle. Okay. Now there is an idiom called twinkling of an eye, which means something happening very fast. It's also, there's another idiom used in the blink of an eye. Okay. By the time you blink, something has happened. So this means something similar. Twinkling of an eye, blink of an eye. Okay, flash of an eye. We don't say twinkling of a flash, but we do say flash of an eye. Okay, or it happened in a flash. All these things mean that something happened very quickly. So this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is right. Twinkling of an eye, the cat disappeared in the twinkling of an eye means that the cat disappeared. By the time you blinked, it was gone. So fast it disappeared. It was there just now it disappeared. Okay. So all those who said B have got it right. Let me quickly see, there are quite a few. Okay, I think the first one I will mention, or the first two rather, the first two who said B, Kumuda and Pavani, you all got it right. Great job. Okay. The others, if you had not heard of the idiom, I hope you've got it now. Twinkling of an eye means something happening really quickly. I see quite a few who have said B later, so you all have got it right. I hope you have understood the meaning of that idiom. Okay. All right. So with that, we move on to the next question. Okay, so this is the again another fill in the blank. These are the options and your time starts now. So decide which of those 4 options is the answer. A few seconds remaining. Let's see if okay, I see a few answers. So I see A, B, C and D as the answers. Okay. All right. So let's decide or discuss rather what the answer is. Okay. A, B, C and D. I think all options have been given as the answer. So let us see, first of all, look at the question. The 2 sisters look so dash that it is difficult to tell one from the other. Okay. And the choices given are same, equal, identical and similar. Now, which of these is the answer? So, same, equal, identical, similar, they have similar meanings, right? They are something, they are not entirely different. There is some commonality between all these 4 words, but which is the right one in this context, in this sentence? Okay. So I would say one of them is definitely wrong, which is this one. We don't say the 2 sisters look so equal, right? Have you ever heard of something like that being said? We don't say look so equal. Okay. First of all, we don't say look equal unless we are talking about something else, not how they actually look, right? So we can rule this out. It's not look so equal. So that leaves us with same, identical and similar. So look at these 2 words. Same. First of all, let's take same. Look so same that it is difficult to tell one from the other. Now, when we use the word same, we can't grade same. Okay. You can't say they look little same or they look very same. You can't grade that. So you can't say look so same. So they can look the same, but they can't look so same. Okay. It's not gradable, the sameness. Likewise for identical. Okay. So again, when you say identical, either they are identical or they are not identical. You can't say they look so identical. So we can rule that out too. That leaves us with similar. And when we say this word, when you use this word similar, it is gradable. You can say something that is a little similar, very similar, there is a lot of similarity, there is very little similarity, right? So we can grade similar. So we can say the 2 sisters look so similar that it is difficult to tell one from the other. So this is the right answer. D is the right answer. Let's see who got it right first. So just give me a second. There are quite a few people who have answered. So I think it is Shravanti, Priya and Kalaivani who got it right. I see D, the 3 of them have said D almost at the same time. There are many others too, but there are quite a few, so I am not naming all of you. So all of you who said D, you got it right, and I hope you know why. And even the others who did not get it right, I hope you got why D is the answer. All right. Okay. So with that, I think we can move to the next question. Okay. So here, let me underline this part. So you need to decide which of these 5 options can be used. one of them is the same as the one given and there are 4 others. So, which is the right one? Okay, which is the best one rather? And your time starts now. Okay, I see one answer already. Okay, some more. One more actually, yes. So, Shravanti, Varshita, Pavani, Chetna, Rajat. Okay, so I see E, A, D as the answers till now. Let's see if there are others too. E, A and D, I think. Alright, so let us see what is the right answer. Okay, I think a majority says D. So, is the majority right? Is the question. Okay, the art studio is spacious, pleasantly cluttered and has good lighting. And has good lighting is underlined, right? So, instead of is and has good lighting okay, or should it be and being well lit, or should it be and is lit well, or and well lit, or and the lighting is good. Okay. Now, in this one of the options, even before thinking you can strike it out, which is option B, right? The art studio is spacious, pleasantly cluttered and being well lit. That is not even a proper sentence, right? So, let us rule that out. So, as much as possible try to eliminate options. So, it leaves you with fewer options, right? Now, and has good lighting is the same as what is given, and is lit well makes sense, and well lit makes sense, and the lighting is good also makes sense. Then which one is right? So, for this we use the concept of parallelism, which we have discussed earlier in one of our sessions. Okay. So, what does this parallelism mean? It is related to sentence structuring. So, it is related to different aspects, in different contexts. In this case, the parallelism is about when you have a list of things, there should be some similarity in the way we write that list. Okay. Now, look at this, spacious. Spacious is an adjective, right? Pleasantly cluttered. Okay. So, cluttered is when there are things placed untidily, right? But they are saying pleasantly. Now, cluttered is an adjective, pleasantly is an adverb, that is fine. This adverb is describing this adjective, but there is an adjective here. But look at the last part, and. What follows and is also part of the list, but they have written has good lighting. Now, has good lighting is also describing the studio, but it is not an adjective, right? So, let us see if there is something better than that. Okay. And is lit well. Is lit well is also not an adjective. Well lit is an adjective, right? So, let us consider that. Look at the last one, and the lighting is good, not an adjective. So, let us rule that out too. So, there is only one adjective and that adjective is right and it makes sense in the sentence. The art studio is spacious, pleasantly cluttered and well lit, which means has a lot of lighting, good lighting, right. So, all those who said D, you have got it right. Well done. Let us see who was the one who got D right first. Let me quickly check. Pavani, I think, got it right, and then there are quite a few. So, there are quite a few after that, Rajat, Venkatesh, Karan, Akash, Kumuta, Raksha and so on. There are more, Jagat, also. Okay, so you all got it right, well done. The others, I hope you understood why it should be and well lit. Okay, so this is the concept of parallelism being used. So with that, I think we can move to the next question. If there is anything that any question you have or related to what we are discussing here, please do put it on the chat and I will take it up when I see it. Meanwhile, I will move on to the next question. So your time starts now. So I see Pavani, Selvarani and quite a few others sending the answers. Okay. All right. So time's up and a majority says B. Okay, I see one person saying, two people saying C and three people actually saying C. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's look at what the answer is. All right. Okay. So she is one of the people who respect him. Okay. Now, is there any of the options that we can definitely eliminate even without thinking? Okay. So look at this. She is one of the, look at this option D. She is one of the person respect him. Does that make any sense? You can make out that that sentence is not correct. Okay, there's something missing there or some problem there. So if you find an option like that, you can first eliminate it because that makes your work that much easier. Because she is one of the person respect him is definitely totally wrong, right? That leaves us with 4 options A, B, C and E. Okay, next I would like to tell you about this one of the. Okay, when we write one of the followed by who, okay, or rather not one of the followed by who, I'm sorry. When you write one of the, always it has to be followed by a plural noun. One of the has to be followed by a plural noun. Always. Okay, this is a person, this is a mistake many people make. Okay, they use a singular noun. One of my friend, you say, when you say, you should say one of my friends. One of the subject, you say, when you should say one of the subjects. Okay, so one of the, if you didn't know this, please make a note of it because this is a mistake I come across very often. All right, one of the has to be followed by a plural. Now look at these options. One of the people, people is plural, that's fine. One of the person, no. Okay, person is singular, so no. One of the people is fine. One of the person, no. Okay, persons, fine. Person, no, because person is singular. So that leaves us with only 2 options, A and C. This is making our task much easier, right? one of the people who respect him and one of the people who respects him. Okay. Now, excuse me, suppose it is she is a person who respects him. Okay. Here you need to say respects, not respect. She is a person who respects him. We cannot say she is a person who respects him, because who are we talking about? We are talking about her. She is a person who respects him. But look at this sentence. She is one of the people. So we are not just saying she is one of the people. She is one of the people who do something. So what do they do? What do those people do? They respect him. So this is the people who respect him. This respect, unlike this one, this respect is about this people and not about she. She is one of them. One of who? One of those who respect him. Okay. So this sentence actually is correct. A is the right answer. Okay. In case there is some doubt lingering in your minds, let me just explain that once again. Okay. So I hope it's clear why B, D and E are not the answers. A and C are the options that remained with us, right? So if it was she is a person, then you would have written who respects him. But because she is one of the people, this respect is related not to she but the people. And when we talk about the people, we can't say people respects him. People who respect him, right? So that is why A is the answer. This can be a little tricky, so make a note of it in case you got it wrong, okay, or you are not sure what it is. Suppose it was one of the guests dash here. Okay. Suppose I say is or are. One of the guests dash here. Is it one of the guests is here or one of the guests are here? Can you tell me? Let me know on the chat. I am giving you another question. One of the guests dash here. Should you write is here or are here? I'll repeat my question. One of the guests dash here, is here or are here? Okay, I see Venkatesh, Ravanti, Anjali, Payal all saying is, and you are right. Okay, great. You all got this right, right? One of the guests is here. There you don't say are here. Okay, so look at the difference between this sentence and this sentence. You say one of the guests is here but not are here. But here you don't say she is one of the people who respects him. You say she is one of the people who respect him, because this is related to this. And here you are talking about one. Okay. So you have to be careful. Look at the sentence carefully. It can get a little tricky. Okay. So all of you all wrote is. Wonderful. So I think nobody got the question originally asked right. I didn't get any A as the answer. Rajat, I see, has answered it as A. I think you gave a lot of thought to it and then answered, Rajat. You are right though. A is the answer here. Okay. So is this clear? Is the concept clear? I think it is, because when I asked the second question, you all have said is. Is there any, if there is any doubt or something is not clear, please let me know on the chat. Meanwhile, I will move on to the next question. Alright, this is again a sentence correction, okay, and your time starts now. Thanks, Karan, for letting me know that it is clear. Okay, now it's almost time, so you need to give me the answer for this one. Okay, so I see Sujata, Pavadi, Rajat have answered. And some more are answering. Okay, I'll just wait for a few seconds because I'm seeing the answers coming in, and then we will go and discuss the answer. Thanks, Likita, for letting me know that the earlier question, the answer solution is clear. Okay. All right. Okay, so I've got quite a few answers, and I see A, B, and C, and I think a majority has said B. Okay, so let's see. The article on the subject of the drug mafia, published in the Times of India yesterday, neither allude nor specifically describe the methods that narcotics officers employ in the fight against drugs. And one part of the sentence, more than half of the sentence actually, I think, has been underlined, and you need to say which of the given options should be used instead of that, and one of the options is the same as the given sentence, right? So usually in sentence correction, you might have seen they give you long sentences, not always, but often to confuse you they give you long sentences, right? Okay, so let's look at what is the correct answer. Okay, so what do we first try to do? We try to eliminate. Okay, now look at this word allude. Okay, so allude means hint at. In case you did not know, make a note. This will help you in a vocabulary related questions, synonym, antonym questions, right? So allude means hint at, and allude is always used with the preposition allude to something. Allude to something. This is the usage. Okay, this is the phrasal verb used, allude to, and it usually comes as allude to something. So we cannot use allude just like that. So now that we know that it has to be allude to, let's see if all of the options are allude to. Look at that one, this part, neither alludes nor specifically describes. There is no alludes to here, so we can strike that out. Here there is an allude to, so let's keep it there. Here there is an alludes to, let's keep it there. Neither alludes nor specifically describes, no to, strike it out. Alludes to, not specifically describes. Okay, so there are three options where there is alludes to, and even without looking at the rest of the part of the sentence, at the beginning of the option itself, we are able to decide that there are two options which are definitely not correct. So they are out. So that leaves us with B, C, and E. Okay, so here if all the three were same, then we couldn't do anything. But here you see all the one of them is different. One is allude to, the other two are alludes to. Now you need to decide which one is correct, right? So allude to means hint at. Now what is hinting at? Okay, it's the article. The article on the subject published in the Times of India yesterday, neither. Okay, so all this part is not required for us to understand which is the subject. We have to remove this part, part which I have put in brackets. Do not remove it from the sentence, but to help us identify the correct subject. So the alluding or describing is done by the article, right? So it is when the article is the subject, the verb should be alludes. The article alludes to. The articles allude to, right? So alludes to is right, which means allude to is wrong. So that leaves us with C and E. Now we need to decide which of these is right. Neither alludes to nor specifically describes the methods that narcotics officers employ in the fight against drugs. Neither alludes to nor specifically describes the methods that narcotics officers employs in the fight against drugs. So the difference is here. Again, a subject-verb agreement problem. Okay, is it narcotics officers employ or narcotics officers employs? Officers is plural, so you can't use employs. It has to be employ. So this option is wrong. So C is the right answer. So quickly look at that option and see whether it's correct. Neither alludes to nor specifically describes the methods that narcotics officers employ in the fight against drugs. That's perfect. So C is your answer. So there are two subject-verb agreement related issues here, and also another issue related to the phrasal verb. 2 was missing, right? So what you need to do is eliminate the wrong options first, are definitely wrong, and then try to keep eliminating till you are left with one right answer. Okay, so let me see who got it right. Let me just quickly check. So I think it is Sujata, Pavani, Prathamesh are the first 3 people who gave it to me correctly. Alright, great job, and I hope you know why too. I hope if it was just a guess, then I hope you have understood why it is so. If you knew it, well and good, and the others who gave me the wrong answer or who thought the wrong answer, I hope it's clear. Okay. So Rajat, we will see if we can do it in the future sessions, what you are asking about. Alright. So for now, let us move on to the next question. And I am assuming there are no doubts. If there are, please put them on the chat. Okay, this is your next question, and your time starts now. This is a parajumble or a sentence ordering question. Okay, so you need to tell me which is the right answer. You've been given 4 options. I've already got Pavani's answer. When you say Pavani C, I think you mean option 3, right? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It would help if you gave me 1, 2, 3 or 4, because I will not be sure if you are referring to the earlier question or this one, because sometimes I get replies late. Okay, so I'll take Kumuda's answer as the first one. She says 4. And then there is Pradeep and Rajat and Pavani, Sujata. Sujata, you say a yes, so I'm not sure what the yes is about. All right. Okay, so time's up. Let's look at, let's decide what is the correct answer. Let's see what is the correct answer. Okay, so Okay, here you've been given 5 sentences like they do in parajumbles. They give you 4 sentences or 5 sentences and ask you for the right order. Sometimes they give you the first and the last sentence. Those are fixed. They tell you the part in between that is jumbled and you need to give the right answer. Okay. So here, like we have discussed earlier in one of these sessions, when you get questions like this, do not sit and wonder, is A the first sentence, is B the first sentence, is C the first sentence, and look at each one and waste time there. You know that time is of great importance here. If you spend a lot of time on one question, then you won't have time for the others, right? So instead of wondering whether it's A or B or C or D or E, just look at the given options. And in the first option, first sentence is E, second option E, third option A, fourth option C, which means B and D cannot be your first sentence. You don't even need to look at them right now. Okay, so we need to look at E, A, C. Now you might have seen here that there are sentences. Look at sentence A, luckily the tide of battle. Sentence B, it could have been. Sentence C, the Australian military, knowing the position was hopeless. D, they had captured. E, not many people outside Australia realize how close the Japanese got. Okay, so in these, from these sentences, it doesn't look, if you had not looked at the options, you're not sure which of them, none of them sound like the first question, right? First sentence, sorry, none of them sound like the first sentence, because here suddenly there's a luckily, here there's an it. What is that it? Here they're saying the position, which position? Here again you say they. This looks like it's very abrupt. Not many people outside Australia realize how close the Japanese got. Where, in what context, right? So this will not be, this paragraph is not likely to be in the beginning of an article. Also, it may not even be the beginning of the paragraph. It may have been taken from the middle of the paragraph. This may be sentence 5 in the paragraph. This may be sentence 6, 7, 8, 9 instead of sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we can't use, we might not be able to use that to decide how to order the sentence, how to order this set of sentences, okay? So we might need to look at the second sentence too. We will look at that. First, let us look at the first option, sentence E. Not many people outside Australia realize how close the Japanese got. Now, like I said earlier, just based on this, we may not be able to decide whether this is the first sentence. Okay. So, look at D. After E comes D. They had captured most of the Solomon Islands and much of New Guinea. Okay. So, this they can, it is possible that this they refers to the Japanese, right? So we will keep this, we will not eliminate it. E, D makes some sense at least. We will have to look at the others too, but instead of wasting time and looking at all of them, let's quickly look at option 2. Okay, that is sentence E we have already seen. Not many people outside Australia realize how close the Japanese got. Look, next is sentence C. The Australian military, knowing the position was hopeless, planned to fall back to the southeast in the hope of defending the main cities. Okay, that too makes sense. We cannot straight away eliminate it. So let's keep that too. Next, let's look at A and D. Okay, luckily the tide of battle moved elsewhere after the American victory at Midway and an Australian victory over Japan at Milne Bay. As the first sentence, we don't know, right? Like I said, if it's in the middle of the paragraph, this may be the first sentence. But let's look at D and see if there is a connection. They had captured most of the Solomon Islands and much of New Guinea and seemed poised for an invasion. Now, there is a problem here. Who is the they? They are talking about the American victory. You can talking about Australian victory, but there is nobody to refer to as they here. We have not spoken about Americans, Australians, Japanese, nothing, right? So this is probably A and D, one after the other don't make much sense. So we can eliminate that. That leaves us with option 4, the last option, C and D. Let's look at that. The Australian military, knowing the position was hopeless, planned to fall back to the southeast in the hope of defending the main cities. Okay. C by itself is fine, but we will have to look at D. D is they had captured most of the Solomon Islands and much of New Guinea and seemed poised for an invasion. Okay. Now this they might be referring to the Australian military. Okay, we are not sure, so we cannot base our decision on that. But look at what sentence C says and what sentence D says. Here they say the position was hopeless and they planned to fall back to the southeast in the hope of defending. And here what does it say? They had captured most of the Solomon Islands and seemed poised for an invasion. How can their position be hopeless? They think of defending and they think of an invasion. This sentence D after sentence C makes no sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So we don't even need to look at the remaining three options, meaning remaining three sentences, this and this. So 3 and 4 are ruled out. That leaves us with 1 and 2. So the correct option has to be between these. Okay. So let's look at this one again. E and D anyway we know is fine. D is they had captured most of the Solomon Islands and much of New Guinea and seemed poised for an invasion. C is the Australian military, knowing the position was hopeless, planned to fall back in the hope of defending the main cities. It could have been no more than a delaying tactic. Luckily, the tide of battle moved elsewhere after the American victory at Midway and an Australian victory over Japan at Milne Bay. Now, this makes sense, but let us quickly look at ECDAB in case there is a better arrangement there. Okay, E we felt was okay, C after E was fine. C is the Australian military, knowing the position was hopeless, planned to fall back. After that, again the same problem which we encountered here. C, D makes no sense. They are saying the position was hopeless, then they say they captured most of the Solomon Islands and seemed poised for an invasion. The same people can't be hopeless as well as be poised for an invasion. So that eliminates 2 also, which leaves us with option 1, which is the right answer. Okay. So if there is anybody who has said option 1, you got it right. So let us quickly see, let me quickly see. There is nobody who has given me option 1. Okay. So Aryan, you are asking if none is also an option. So if none of them is it can be an option, but not here, right? If none of them makes sense, they will have, if the correct answer is none, they would have given you that as the option, but not here. Here option 1 is fine. E, D, C, B, A. In fact, it's the exact reverse order of what is given, right? So that is the correct answer. Alright, I agree that it's a slightly confusing, not so simple. So you need to use various tactics to get it right. So you need to use, pronoun related issues, you need to see whether there is logic in it, different things you need to consider to decide which is the correct answer. Alright, if there's something that you did not understand, please let me know on the chat. I'll just wait for a few seconds and then we will move on to the next question. Or maybe I will move on to the next question and you can, in case there's anything, you all can put it on the chat. Okay. So this is our next question. Okay, so here you have been given something, you have not a sentence exactly, you have been given a part of a sentence maybe, or it's more like a meaning of something. Okay, it's a meaning of something. What it is a meaning of, you'll be given 4 options. You need to tell me, you need to put it on the chat. Okay, so these are the options. And your time starts now. All right, Rajat and Priya, thanks for letting me know that it is clear, the earlier question. So it's almost time, or rather you have a little bit of time remaining. So I've got Rita who has answered first. Let's see. Varshita, Renuka. All right. So what about the others? No negative marking here. You feel free to give me your answers. At the most, it will be wrong. The best, it will be right. So don't hesitate. If it was your WIPRO test, you wouldn't have left it. You would have answered, right? So answer. Okay, so I see the majority says B. Okay, and I have received one more answer, C. So nobody has said A or D. So let's look at the right answer. Okay. Oh, somebody has said D. Vinay has said D. All right. So let us look at the answer. So what has been given? Something widely feared as a possible unpleasant or dangerous occurrence. Okay. So that is the meaning, and what has been given as the options is specious, haunt, spectre, flippant. Okay. This should actually be possibly. Okay, we can't say as a possible unpleasant. Possibly unpleasant would be better. Anyway, so let's look at this. Spacious. So this is not spacious, right? It is not. This is SPACIOUS, which is, you know what it means. This is spacious. Now spacious means you can say something that is misleading. Okay, for example, a specious argument. So a specious argument would be one that sounds right. Okay, the argument, if you are presenting an argument, it sounds right to me, but actually it is wrong. So it's a misleading argument, right? So specious means that. Haunt, you know what haunt is, right? You know that, suppose you say ghosts are haunting that place, it means they are repeatedly coming there, right? So that haunt is a verb. There is another haunt which is a noun. Okay, and this haunt means, when it's a noun, it means it's a favorite place. Okay, so if some place, if a particular restaurant is my haunt, it is a place where I repeatedly go to. Okay, I like it, and so I repeatedly go to that place. So this haunt is where something repeatedly appears, right? This haunt is, as a noun, you repeatedly go to that place. So like I said, if ABC restaurant is my favorite haunt, it is a place that I go to again and again, probably because I like it, right? So that is one thing. Then that is two meanings for the word haunt. Then let's go to this word spectre. Okay, so spectre is an idea that something fearful or unpleasant is likely to occur, and that is similar to this, right? So actually one person, I think I saw, who said C. You've got it right. Okay, but let's look at the other one too, because see, when it comes to words, let us look at all the words, because you don't know which word will come, and they might ask you a synonym of flippant, for example. So let's not leave flippant. Flippant is being flippant means not taking something seriously. Okay, if your attitude is flippant, that means you are not taking it seriously. So that is what this means. Okay, now you might not know the meanings of these words or meanings of all the words, right? But you can try to make a calculated guess. Okay, now something widely feared means that it is a noun, right? Something which is feared can't be a verb or an adjective or whatever, it has to be a noun. So spacious, even if you don't know the meaning of spacious, okay, this is not likely to be a noun. Usually words with end with OUS are adjectives like spacious, auspicious, right? So even if you don't know, you can rule it out. Okay, haunt is a verb. So if it has a verb, it is definitely not related to this. So widely feared, many of you gave haunt. Why? Because when you say, we generally think about ghosts haunting, repeatedly coming, right, repeatedly appearing. So that is why you all said B is the answer, right? But that haunt is a verb and this is a noun, so it cannot be the answer. And if haunt is used as a noun, it is a place where you repeatedly go to. So that too is, it's not, it can't be, right? So this is also the wrong answer. Flippant is again an adjective. Even if you don't know the meaning, suppose you have heard the usage and you know that it is used with a noun, it's an adjective, you can rule that out. So that leaves you with spectre, whether you know it is a noun or verb or whatever it is. Since the other three are ruled out, you can select this as the answer. Okay, this is if you do not know the meaning of the word, these words. All right, and this is just a calculated guess, mind you, it cannot work 100% all the time. There are chances that you will get it right, but the best thing of course is to know the meanings of as many words as possible. So I saw, let me see who's the person who gave me C as the answer. There was Shravanti who gave me initially and later Prathamesh did, but Shravanti gave it to me at the very beginning and almost at the beginning. So well done, Shravanti. And the others who said B, I hope you got why it is not B. All right, and I hope you are making notes of these words which are new to you. Okay, it will help you in whichever exam. It need not be only WIPRO, in whichever exam, right, if you did not know the word. All right, so that is about this particular question. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, here you have been given a sentence, a word has been underlined, okay, and they have given you an instruction. So these are your options and your time starts now. So select which of the options is right. Okay, let me see if I've got answers. Yes, I received Sai Teja's answer first, Jason, Pradeep, Priya, Anjali, Charulata, Rajat, and I see everybody giving me the answer, almost everybody giving me the answer as D. All right, so I think we can look at the question and see whether D is the answer or it is something else. Okay. All right. He was amenable to suggestion and really worked hard to improve himself, and amenable is underlined. Okay, and this is here is something that I don't think I need to tell you. Select the option that is most nearly opposite in meaning. Okay, So please read the question carefully. Even if you know the meaning of the word, you might end up giving the wrong answer because you have not read the question in your excitement that you know what the word means. So read the question carefully. I know you don't need me to tell you that, but I am telling you nevertheless. Okay. So you've been asked the opposite of amenable. Alright. So what is amenable? First of all, okay. Amenable is when you are ready to accept or be influenced by something. Usually a suggestion. Amenable to suggestion means that you are ready to accept or ready to listen to a suggestion given by somebody else. Okay, ready to accept it and ready to be you can be influenced by that suggestion. Okay. Now what we have been asked is the opposite of it. Okay, and what are the options given? Docile, persuadable, biddable, uncooperative. Okay, so docile. So what does docile mean? Docile means quiet and somebody who is quiet and who can be easily influenced is docile. Persuadable, somebody who can be persuaded. Biddable, also somebody who you can easily influence. Okay, uncooperative, you know what it means, right? So these three words are, have some kind of similarity about, you can easily influence. Docile, actually it's not only about influence, it also means quiet and ready to listen to somebody else. But persuadable, biddable, this docile, they have something in common, right? Persuadable and biddable are, like I said, you can easily influence. And these three have are in some way similar to amenable. They may not be the exact synonym, but you can, there is some similarity. Okay, so docile maybe you cannot substitute, but persuadable, biddable are words that you can substitute maybe, right? So like I said, amenable means you are ready to accept or be easily influenced, whereas uncooperative means you are not ready to accept, right? Somebody is suggesting something to you, let's do this, please do this, you said no, you don't want to. Whoever this he is, not you, he, right? So that is the opposite. Okay, so if you know the meanings of the words, it's very easy, which is the opposite. If it's not, then you'll have to think a bit. There too, probably you would know this amenable. So this two, biddable, persuadable, they are not likely to be antonyms, right? And docile also sounds. Look at this sentence. Even if you don't know the meaning of amenable, he was amenable to suggestion and really worked hard to improve himself. So this doesn't look like he is not ready to listen to suggestion, right? So probably he is willing to listen to suggestion. So the opposite would be uncooperative. Okay, so even if you don't know the meaning of the word, you can look at the sentence and try to make sense and then figure out what the antonym or opposite is. Okay, so most of you got it right, I think. Let's see who got it first. I think it was Sai Teja who got it first, and then there is Jason and Pradeep and Priya and quite a few. Okay, Rajat, Varshita and so on. Many of you have got it right. Well done. So if you knew the word, great. If you did not know and you made a calculated guess, that is also great. Okay, so please make a note of the words that you did not know. Meanwhile, I will go to the last question. So your time starts now. Okay, let's see what answers we have got. All right, so I have received A, majority says A, and a couple of C's. And is there anybody else? Okay. Okay, so A and C is what I see as the answer. Okay, so let's look at the sentence. A good employee is one who is always willing to go dash an extra mile, the extra mile, extra miles, the extra miles. Okay, now if you used your knowledge of articles, okay, probably A is the right one, right? Because it is, you're talking about one extra mile and makes sense. Okay, but you know about English, right? There are a lot of idioms used. Now this extra mile has a story behind it, a story of long ago, first century actually. Okay, so there Roman soldiers, used to go from one place to another, or wherever they used to go. They had a lot of gear, a lot of their weapons or their luggage or whatever it is. And people, individuals who are not soldiers, they were supposed to carry that luggage or carry the gear of the soldier for 1 mile. Okay, so which means, suppose there's a soldier, he can ask somebody, carry this for me, and that person has to carry it for 1 mile. And if that other person is not willing, the soldier can force him to do it. Okay, so that was the situation then. Okay, nobody likes to be forced to carry somebody else's luggage, right? That too when you are being forced to. And there may be so many soldiers around, I can't keep carrying luggage for them, right? So, however, the holy books, okay, of that time say that you should be willing to do this. You should be willing to help that person, okay, willing to carry the luggage of that other person without feeling as if it's some compulsory thing. You should be wanting to do it and happily do it. You should be willing to walk the extra mile. That is where this idiom comes from. Okay, and what does this extra mile mean? Go the extra mile means that you are ready to do. When you are willing to go the extra mile, you are willing to do more than that is expected of you. Okay, more than that is expected of you. Today it means that, but its origin is when people had to carry the soldier's luggage for 1 mile. Okay, so that was the origin, but today the idiom is to go the extra mile means to do more than you are expected to do. Suppose this much is your work and you are willing to do more than that, then you are willing to go the extra mile, and such a person is called a good employee, is what this sentence is saying. Okay, so I hope you got it. Let me see if I've got any B's as the answer. I have received Prathamesh a little late, yes, but I've got it. Prathamesh has said B is the answer. Okay, so it's not an extra mile, it is the extra mile. Go the extra mile. Okay, remember, go the extra mile is an idiom, which means you are ready to, somebody is ready to do more than what is expected of them, or when you say willing to, if they have already gone the extra mile, they have done more than it's required to be done. Okay, or is expected of them. Okay, so this is, idioms are questions that are likely to be asked, like, English has a lot of idioms, and knowledge of idioms helps in questions like this. All right, so with that we bring this session to an end, but before we leave, in case you all came late and you all did not know about the Telegram link that we spoke about earlier, we will share the Telegram link with you again. Please do join if you have not already joined. Why? Because all the information about our sessions, about drives, everything is there. Okay, so it will be shared on the chat. Please do join if you haven't done that already. Another thing is, please do leave a review for us on Google. We will share the link on the chat. Okay, so your reviews encourage us to come up with more such sessions, conduct a lot of sessions for you. We feel good to read your reviews. So please do leave a review on Google. We'll be sharing the link on the chat for that as well. Also, we have some material prepared for today's session that is related to verbal ability. The link for that has already been shared on the chat. You can access the material there. So you will also be able to see the Telegram link and the Google review link. Vinay, in our earlier session, that is the session last week, we did do reading comprehension. We might do it in our in the sessions to come as well. But please do look at our last session. Okay. All right. So with that, it's time to say thank you to you for being here, for being a part of this session. Please do follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Insta, Telegram we have already spoken to you about, and our YouTube channel is Ethnus Codemithra. Do subscribe, and we have means of you can contact us through email, and our numbers are also displayed here. Just give me a second. Yes, you can view our numbers now. So you can contact us on email or by WhatsApp or on phone. So thank you for being here, and all the best in your preparation for WIPRO. So we will meet again soon. We will our session, and our next session will be coming up sometime. We will let you know on Telegram. Okay, until then, start preparing if you haven't. Continue preparing if you have started already, and have a great evening. Yes, the Telegram link will be shared. Just give us a few seconds. Just give us a few seconds, we'll share the link. Yes, the Telegram link is here. Usha, you were asking for the Telegram link. and the feedback review link is here. Please do leave your reviews too. Okay, so that's it. Sorry about the delay. There was a small technical issue due to which we were not able to share earlier. So you can use these links, those who haven't used them. And until we meet again. So have a great evening. Thank you and bye. You're welcome, Usha.